Hey everyone, welcome back to another garden video. If you've seen any of these previous videos, you will know that section by section I am making over my garden. We've already done a really big gardening session in the early spring. We've made over the patio area and this small section that's in the back end of the garden. But now I'm going to turn my attention to behind the shed. I do need to turn my attention to the shed, but that is also another project on this list. As a reminder, this is what the garden looked like earlier on this year, and this is the area that we're going to pay attention to today. It's behind the shed. It's just essentially a big patch of dirt that was filled with clutter and a bunch of spiders that I want to evict. So today we are going to give this space a huge makeover and we're going to add something very, very special. Okay, you guys know that for the most part I have been doing this garden up on a very, very tight budget and making some choices that reflect that budget, but those choices go out of the window when it comes to one thing and one thing only, and that is the Aldi middle aisle, because we bought a hot tub. Yeah. So let's backtrack a couple of months. We saw these were coming out in Aldi and we had talked about getting a hot tub together and we priced them up, and it turns out they're pretty expensive. So when this one came out in Aldi for about half the price, we jumped on it. I wish we'd waited because they discounted them by about £50 a couple of weeks later. So thanks, Aldi. And anyway, that is what we're bringing into the garden. But before we bring it in, we have a lot of work to do. So let me show you what we did. Get your nose out! So this little speedy montage actually took place at the end of February, a couple of weeks after we'd done the first tidy up of the garden. We'd put all of these decking tiles all the way at the back and then regretted that decision because now we have to walk them all the way to the front. But that's okay because we have a lot of other rubbish and stuff that we need to clear in this back section of the garden too.
It's horrendous. Like, these stinky tiles.
It's not doing anything. It's just making it really muddy.
What are we doing? Do you want to explain to the audience?
Well, your idea was to try and use the hose to move the spiders.
There's lots of spooky spiders in there.
Hey everyone, just me again, jumping in very quickly to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, Dreo. Dreo have sent me their amazing water filtration system, and I'm wondering if they'd read my mind because I've really been trying hard to cut back on the fizzy drinks and drink more water recently. Mainly because my wonderful wife keeps nagging me about it because she wants me to live to like 150 years old or something. So Dreo has come in and they've saved the day. Let me tell you a little bit more. Dreo offers the ultimate 7-layer water filter. It removes 99.99% of contaminants for fast purification. This makes drinking more water a much more easily achievable goal. I've put mine in the utility area of our kitchen, so it's perfectly placed for when I'm working outside in the garden and I need a quick and refreshing drink. The Dreo countertop water filter is sleek and minimal, blending perfectly with our other kitchen appliances, and it features simple, user-friendly design. The filter boasts a long life for improved sustainability. One RO filter can purify up to 4,000 litres of water. I've been using mine to make lots of lemon squash for while I'm in the garden to keep me hydrated while it's hot outside. And it's so easy to take your jug of filtered water and pop it in the fridge for later. If you'd like to learn more about Dreo, you can click the link in the description and you can get 17% off using the code Hermione17. Thank you so much to Dreo for sponsoring today's video, and thank you to you guys for watching it. Now let's jump back into the makeover. So we're going to put the hot tub in this corner, and I've drawn out a plan. You're going to have to bear with me. Imagine this is the hot tub. These 5 paving slabs are going to go in front of it, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should leave us with about 20 centimeters extra on the side here. If my rudimentary leaf and bucket lid diagram isn't cutting it, here's a slightly clearer image of what we want to achieve. I'll place 5 of the slabs across the front of this section to enclose the space. The hot tub goes in the center, but we need to flatten the ground underneath, so we'll achieve this by using gravel to match the Cotswold chipping on the patio, and I'll add a thick mat under the hot tub to make it softer to sit in and protect the underneath. Down the side, next to the shed, I'm going to plant some climbing plants and add some pots to brighten up the space. So, without further ado, let's turn this drawing into reality. Oh, she got it! Yeah! Whoa!
Not really.
Nice!
Yeah.
Kona! Come on, here! So the next thing we have to do is scrape back all of this grass. I'm temporarily moving some of these slabs out of the way, but I will move them into the right position a little bit later. I ended up measuring the space many times just to make sure that everything was lining up as I planned, and then it was time to get raking. I raked up all of the soil and brought any dead grass with it. We dug out as many weeds as we possibly could. And then because we'd laid all of this grass seed a few months ago and it had kind of started sprouting, we were a little bit disappointed that we had to take it up again. So there were a few areas that we were able to kind of try and transplant to parts of the garden where the grass seed didn't take at all.
Oh.
I think it's salvageable, and we can plant it over there.
To transplant the clumps of grass to the other side of the garden, I raked up the area. I dug small holes and then added these clumps of grass with their root systems intact. And I've been watering this ever since, and it's been doing pretty well for the last week or so. So fingers crossed that it stays that way. What's that? Oh my god. Oh no. I feel bad just watching you. You got this. Oh, careful! Okay, that is it for this evening. We just have a little bit more grass left to remove. I started placing some bricks to outline where the gravel's gonna go, but those are just gonna be temporary, just to keep the gravel in until we decide what we're gonna do. I think down here I'm gonna place some plants, but tomorrow we're gonna come in and put the gravel down and the floor mat and everything, and then we can get the hot tub in. Yeah! In this section, I'm placing some bricks to mark out where the gravel's gonna go. But I actually kind of like having them here. They were going to be temporary, but I'm giving it some time to decide whether I want to use something else here or come back and fit them in place properly. What do you think I should do? Let me know in the comments. Okay, pause, because this is where we have to have a conversation about something that I did terribly, terribly wrong. And for the record, I'd like to state that I've done this right every other time I've done this in the garden. There is video evidence of this, but for some reason, I don't know what happened. It slipped my mind. I didn't do it properly, and I want to address it so that you guys don't make the same mistake and so that I don't fall victim to all of the comments about how I've done it wrong. It is at this point, when the area is completely clear, that you usually put down a membrane to stop the weeds coming through. This is in an area where we have a lot of weeds, as you've seen. For some reason, and I don't know why, I forgot to put this down. And I got to work and it was too late before I noticed because the hot tub was in place and filled with water. So what can you do? But usually what you would do is you would put a very thick membrane down, which you can get in your local garden centre. This will act as a barrier to protect from weeds coming up through the area and through into your gravel. Don't worry, when it's time to take the hot tub down at the end of the summer season, I'm going to reassess this area and I will sort it out. But for now, I guess this is one of those please do as I say and not as I do moments, because that was really dumb. Anyway, let's move on, because at this point I am ready to get into the hot tub, but we have a lot more work to do. Other than the initial problem that we had forgetting to add the underlay, everything else turned out pretty well with the gravel. We used 8 bags of Cotswold chippings, and luckily they are on sale, 3 for £12 at the moment, otherwise this would get even more expensive. We're laying them out much thicker around the edges where you're going to be able to see the gravel, and thinner in the middle where the hot tub's going to sit. It also is quite raised in the middle, so we didn't need as much there to get a nice flat surface. If you do this, make sure to tramp them down as well as you can with either a tramper or with your feet. Okay, we are done with all the gravel. We also bought these mats from Home Bargains that we're going to cut to the size of the base so we give it an extra bit of stability. Oh, I don't think I flipped the switch inside.
Oh. Always being silly, right, Kona? Right, Bing? Here she comes.
Ceremonial first filling up of the tub.
I got stuck.
Ah! No! As for this back wall, we tidied up as much as we could, but the full transformation of this section will be in an upcoming video because it involves me taking down and rebuilding a large chunk of the wall, which wasn't really planned and it's been taking quite a lot of time. But just to let you know, we are working on it and we're working on lots of videos out in the garden, so we will be coming out with so many this summer. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already so you don't miss anything. We took a little break from the heavy garden work. Hayley made me a lunch and I decided to surprise her by setting up her hammock. This is something she has wanted ever since we moved into the house. She's always wanted a hammock in the garden, so we picked one up really cheap on clearance at the range. The red colour is giving me a bit of a headache, but luckily for us we already have a hammock insert that we're going to switch this out with, but I just thought I'd put it all together for now so that she can finally use it while she's taking a little break from all this very difficult garden work. It's safe to say I think she really loves it.
Come in.
And of course we couldn't forget about the dogs who've been spending a lot of time with us out in the garden, but it's getting a bit warm out here, so we wanted to make sure that they stay cool and comfortable while they're helping us with all of these projects. What's that?
What's that? Doing a baby voice.
Yeah, you were doing a baby voice. Do you want to do it again?
Guys, what's that?
How many beds do they need in the garden at one point in time?
The whole garden will be beds. Bing, you want a cool kiwi?
Hello.
Kona's up here like it's a treat.
Oh, nice and cold.
Here, Bing. Ready? Come here, Bing. Bing, up on your bed. Good girl, Bing. On here. Oh, she doesn't understand. Bing. On the bed, Bing. On the bed. Bing. Bingy. Bingy. Come here.
You have one too.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. You like that?
That's easy, isn't it? It's that easy.
Bing, you want to try yours?
Oh, everyone's so happy.
Bing is a little nervous and it just takes her a little while to warm up to something new, like a cooling mat. But we also ended up setting up this tent to keep them cool, seeing as she wasn't using the mat that we lovingly got for her.
You okay?
In the end though, they loved both the tent and the mats, and they look really cute in here. Now let's take a quick trip to the garden centre.
What is it? Clematis. It's gonna climb really quickly and make our walls pretty. Because our walls are hideous.
Did you just poke yourself in the eye?
Yeah. I don't know how well you can see this corner, but I've got 2 clematis plants here that I'm going to plant in that corner, and then hopefully next year they will have trailed quite far up the brick wall. The wall that we need to repoint at some point as well. Hayley's going to get rid of this ivy for me while I'm planting those up. And then I've got a couple of pots and some bark chippings to go in this area. You got it? Yeah, I got
Look at that.
it. Oh my god.
Be careful.
Ah! I got it.
We'll have to get more bark chippings.
There's a spider! Get out!
I asked you guys in a previous video what I should add to the patio, and so many of you came through and said marquee lights. So I bought some of them from the range, but I realized pretty quickly that they weren't very bright at all. So I have ordered a new set for the patio, and I've moved these ones to the hot tub area. I used hooks that screw into the brickwork to clip the lights onto, and I fiddle with them until they seemed about right. I'd like to add some more lighting here at a later date, but for now these will do.
Is that okay?
It's perfect.
Okay, so we're kind of getting to the end of this project, but I will be honest, I filmed all of this up until this point. I edited the video, I looked at the after footage, and I was like, just don't think it's good enough. I want to keep going. So here we are, adding more. And I'm glad I did but you know what? I'm really glad I did because I've got a couple of things I'm adding to this space that I think are really, really cool. So let's style it and see what it looks like.
Coming back in to do these final touches was so worth it. One of the things I really wanted to do was add 2 more slabs in this section to add a corner section, but they ran out of slabs at the range and we were waiting for weeks for them to come in. So here we are finally adding 2 more slabs. Please excuse my choice of footwear. Really not appropriate, but here we go. This section looks more complete now that it's got a corner. Oh, and here I am adding some building sand underneath the slabs, which I didn't show you when we put the other ones down, but this really helps them stay in place and it makes sure that they don't start wobbling all over the place. It gives them more of a firm foundation. Another idea I had was to put up this projector screen. This could be hit or miss, I don't know. I found this online for £5, so fingers crossed it will work. We already have the projector and I thought it'd be a really nice idea if We could come out here in the summer late at night with our friends and watch movies out here now that we have the day bed and lots of chairs to sit in. So I've got all the screws in place to hold this up, and now I've taken it back inside obviously so it doesn't get wet when it rains, but that's the projector screen. I will check back in and let you know if that works or not one evening. We'll try it out. If you've been watching this channel for a good few years now, you might remember these egg chairs. I ended up leaving them in my nan's garden while I moved to Korea, and they're not in the best shape, but you know what? They're fine. They just need a good clean up. These were another Aldi special buy, so that just goes to show I have been absolutely taken advantage of by Aldi for many, many years. Nah, I'm just kidding. What can I say? I love the special buys at Aldi. Otherwise, I wouldn't still be buying them. I did end up giving this a quick spray paint with some hammered metal black spray paint on the legs because it was looking a little rusty. I don't think it has much longer left in it, but I'm going to try and extend its life as long as I possibly can. As for this umbrella, it belongs to my nan. She has been saying to me for weeks that I should borrow it and put it in a video because it would look really nice in a video. So here I am, putting it in a video. As you can see, I'm kind of using it and this plant to cover up part of the brick section at the back near the hot tub. We cleared it out as best as we could, but we are working on this section. I'll have an update in one of my future videos. It's just taking quite some time and it's not looking its finest just yet.
There we go. Now it looks more tropical back there.
Does it?
Yeah, look, so tropical.
It's dead.
It needs a trim.
Okay, we are finally done with the hot tub area of our garden. Let me show you a quick reminder of what this space looked like before. Essentially, it was just a dumping ground for wheelbarrows and old bins, and we had that spider problem, but I'm pretty sure most of them have been evicted now, because this is how the space turned out. We have been using this section of the garden so frequently. It's in use every single sunny day, which there have been many of this year. We've been blessed. I'm in the hot tub all the time, literally all the time. It's one of the best purchases I think I'd ever made. It's on par with the pink fridge. I'm just going to say that. I'm really glad I came back in and added a few more things to style up the space and to add a bit more functionality. I will say there are a few things that I want to do in this area because I don't love the look of an inflatable hot tub. It kind of looks like we've got a giant tire in the back of our garden, hence why I hid it behind the shed. I want to come back in at a later date and build a base for it, maybe out of decking boards. I'm not entirely sure yet. I need to do a little bit of drafting with this idea. If you've ever made something like this or you have any ideas of what I could do, please leave them in the comments below because I do think it needs elevating just a little bit more to get it to look perfect. But other than that, for the stage we're at with the garden renovation right now, I think it's looking really good, and we do have to turn our attention to some other neglected areas of the garden. We've got the back of the garden that needs to be done, the shed, there's an area that I want to set up a table and chairs in, so if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. You'll see all of these videos as they come out. And I'm also planning lots of projects inside the house for rainy days, so I'll have loads more updates. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Happy gardening, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, careful. Be careful.
Ah. I got it though.